Got three topics right here. They're not long enough to make their own individual video, at least for the type of content that I like to do on the channel, but each of them do require either a follow-up, a little bit of a polish on top of it, or just coverage in and of itself, and I think I found the perfect through line for this. It's all about the different types of victimhood. With Eliza here, first and foremost, we have self-perpetuated professional victim status. Professional victim? I think she's about the best out there doing it right now, still continuing to make herself relevant, even though she's out here saying that, oh, I'm going to be stepping back from Twitter. That lasted about, 6 seconds, about for as long that it took her to realize that, this is about the only place where I'm relevant enough where I can just satiate my own lust for unrequited attention, so I'm going to have to come crawling back. Big shock on that one. And then with Scott Adams, who we'll be talking about in a bit, it's the self-inflicted victim status, but we'll touch on that when we get there. And then the entire Tate situation, that is the unjust, unfounded, unfair victim, your most pure victim status. And in the way that everybody's handling it, like, we got the three different people, or the three different groups of people that we're going to be talking about here, two of which aren't handling it all that well, really aren't taking responsibility for their actions, but then one group is handling it extremely well, and one guess who that's going to be when we get to there. But first and foremost, we got Eliza here. And you remember the last time we talked about this purple-haired wench. She was given this long, verbose, maudlin send-off that, oh, my time on Twitter was so important, and I did so much good work, and I'm going to be taking a step back for about 10 seconds. And then, yeah, she decided, like, not long after that she just needed to continue to hop on the old clout train, choo-choo, not the normal train that she likes to run, and try to monkey branch onto an old grift. Interesting. Mostly because it was incredibly successful for running cover for her, so it totally makes sense. So she is quote retweeting a Washington Free Beacon post that a left-wing billionaire and media donor, Pierre Odemar, is bankrolling the dark money group. The people behind the scenes, the deep state. A group leading a corporate boycott campaign against Twitter owner Elon Musk. Spoiler, it just turned out that Elon Musk is once again the world's richest man, so good job on that Twitter boycott. And isn't that like ancient news at this point, where there's a media corporation, there's a cabal of people that are going to be boycotting Twitter until they realize that all of the Twitter alternatives, because, well, Parler got kneecapped back in the cut. Nobody's even relevant. Nothing's close. Everything else is dead and dying, or Trump's platform, where only Trump's popping over there. Like, I don't know who uses truth. Trump, that's about it. And the moment he comes over to Twitter, he's shutting down the game. Here she is. As much as she likes to think that I'm self-aware when it comes to this stuff, guys, don't worry about it. If you don't like someone, you should just leave them alone and focus on what you are doing. But caring this much makes him sound like a super fan. Somebody's projecting a whole hell of a lot on top of that. Like, I have no idea who this Pierre Odemar is. I don't know if he's bankrolling any of this shit. And why would you need to bankroll a boycott campaign? That doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Hey, don't use that, and here's money? Like, oh, okay, cool. Is she still going to continue to try to perpetuate this narrative that all of those illegitimate attacks against me, they were all PR bots, guys? Like, Shane Cashman told you about that, okay? And then right underneath of that, she follows up, P.S. I don't think I didn't notice that I was also swept up in the propaganda with the anti-Elon Musk corporate press and social media manipulation. Oh, okay, cool. See, no. There was a campaign that was out there, and guys, we're just as culpable as one another because we were all there for Elon Musk, right? Supporters? No? Oh, okay. I should have just started a fan club if it was that serious. And bro, right after that, the day after you post this maudlin nonsense, right? The only thing that you've done post your giant screed that's down there is try to renew your membership for the Elon Musk fan club. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you weirdo? I have unblocked everyone I blocked, apart from scammers. I recommend others do the same. Negative feedback is a good thing. I don't necessarily agree. I think curating your reality for people that are on the same mission as you are is fairly important and something that successful people do. Obviously, I've considered Elon Musk a genius. Don't really think that he's an expert in all fields. He doesn't quite have the same level of perspicacity to be a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. Just what he sets his mind to, he pretty much accomplishes with a veracity and a ferocity that is unmatched by very few other people that are out there. So if that's the route that he wants to take, with negative feedback being a good thing, I would say constructive criticism from people that you would also be willing to take praise from. Don't be taking criticism from anybody that you wouldn't receive advice from. That's my stance on things. Elon's totally different, but he's a totally different individual. But the card-carrying member of I know Elon Musk personally, like we talked in a Twitter space before, others do the same, is this satire. He's given generalized advice for the public, but no. The professional victim out here trying to glom on to somebody that is so wildly successful, it is completely out of her reach, especially at 42. If you were 24, if you just flip reverse those numbers, you might have had an opportunity, but hey, those eggs aren't getting any less powdered, and you just really need to develop your game a little bit more. There's no more just running straight at the basket and dunking on fools. You're gonna have to develop a mid-range game, or so that you don't get any contact on any of those old joints. You better start learning how to shoot a three-pointer or passing the ball off. But yeah, even if you decide to peruse her Twitter profile, or her entire Twitter, her Twitter page, right? Still hasn't addressed any of the censorship stuff. Still all about me. And none of the legitimate criticisms of anything that she's done out there. Remember, guys, she's done good work. Like, glom on to something that everybody else was talking about and did it more successfully than her back in the cup. But no, she was very important. And see, guys, she's just like you and me. She's just a regular person with a profile and a platform and a attention complex that can never be satiated. So yeah, she's doing well in her job. Congratulations. I'm sure you'll just continue to grift on into the future. But as we transition over to the self-inflicted victim, well, we got Scott Adams once again. You guys remember, we covered this video, and I thought, and it's like, okay, first and foremost, he said white people should stay away from black people. We can just go ahead and play the beginning of the clip. We're not going to go over all of it. I don't think it's all necessarily relevant, but...
So if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them.
Okay.
And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people.
Right.
Just get the fuck away.
Okay.
Wherever you have to go, just get away.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. And yeah, if you want more context, and I just add in my additional commentary over top of that, I think Saturday or something I released a video on this, and okay, that's his opinion. I think it's a little bit bork to say that white people should just get the fuck away from black people in your generalized context. And then he'd further go on to explain in subsequent tweets as well what he thought that he was saying on top of that, and he'd also add some clarification afterwards. And it's like, no, it's on an individual basis. And it's like, well, those weren't the statements you were making at the beginning, but I understand where you're coming from. That's your opinion on things. I don't take you seriously when it comes to anything else, so okay, I would just put that in the same category as, oh, Scott Adams criticism right on the fucking floor. Who the fuck cares? Apparently publishers, like, this is totally fucked, okay? My publisher for non-Dilbert books, like, we already went over Dilbert being dropped from a whole bunch of different newspapers that were still active, weird enough, and like 94 different publishers. Like, what the fuck, man? But my publisher for non-Dilbert books has canceled my upcoming book and the entire backlist. So everything that was previously with this publisher has just apparently been wiped off the table. Can't corroborate that, but I think I seen a Wall Street Journal write-up. It really doesn't much matter, but he's making these allegations. I have no reason to believe that he's falsifying any of this stuff. Still, no disagreement about my point of view. My book agent canceled me too. So his book agent is gone, and his publisher has canceled him. All over statements where if you just simply flip reverse races in that would simply be just any passage from an Ibram X. Kendi novel. Like, come on. And even in the previous clip right here, he does make mention that, oh yeah, these are statements that Don Lemon would even say, and well, I know I've seen this clip before, and it's the one that everybody goes back to when talking about Don Lemon and how his opinions used to be based in 2013 or something like this. I think it came out. I personally prefer when Chris Rock talks about it, and it says there's two different types of black people. There's African Americans, and then there's remember when Chris Rock used to be relevant? Anyways, but yeah, you got Jack Botsobic over here. I can't believe they're canceling Scott Adams for agreeing with Don Lemon. And for all of those who aren't quite familiar with the opinions of Don Lemon, at least back in the cut, and probably what he continues to hold at this point in time, well, let's just run a refresher course.
You really want to fix the problem. Here's just 5 things that you should think about doing. Here's number 5. And if this doesn't apply to you, if you're not doing this, then it doesn't apply to you. I'm not talking about you. Here's number 5.
Pull and there are black people.
Walking around with your ass and your underwear showing is not okay. In fact, it comes from prison when they take away belts from the prisoner so that they can't make a weapon.
Oh, okay.
And then it evolved into which role a prisoner would have during male-on-male prison sex. The one with the really low pants is a submissive one.
Oh, okay, cool. Point? So is that the one? Is that the role that Don Lemon takes? I'm just wondering.
Number 4 now is the N-word.
Oh no!
By promoting the use of that word when it's not germane to the conversation, have you ever considered that you may just be perpetuating the stereotype the massa intended?
Oh my God!
Like
he said the word. Oh well. Not exactly a one-for-one comparison for what Scott Adams believes and what Don Lemon is saying, but I understand. They're both arguing from an emotional point of view. Like, Scott Adams is basing his opinion, there's one poll that's out here, so white people should stay away from black people because that's a hate group. And Don Lemon is saying, you're sagging your jeans and you're looking stupid. And it's like, yeah, no, you guys are right to have your own opinion on things. It's just successful people and people that are actually concerned about pressing issues don't give a fuck about race. It's just so inane and stupid. Like, fucking grow up, for Christ's sakes. You know who cares about race? Dumb and poor people. You know who don't care about race? Rich and successful people. Christ all fucking mighty. Like, Don Lemon is already on the outs with CNN. Scott Adams is on the outs with his publisher. Maybe they could both sit down and come to an agreement on certain things. Oh, but Scott Adams wants to stay away from Don Lemon. But unlike Eliza, who is the professional victim, Scott Adams might realize that, yeah, this is all incredibly self-inflicted, and it's like, what the hell else did you expect to come out of this stuff? You make these, you know that it's inflammatory. It might not necessarily be wrong in any form or fashion, and hell, you have the right opinions on things, you just reverse this, races one more time, and well, yeah. You just take a look at the response from Kirby that spent a couple more minutes inside the toaster than necessary, and you hear her opinion, and just, yeah, in your mind yourself, just flip the races for a second.
What are white people superior at?
What exactly are white people superior at?
They're real good at violence.
Violence. Genocide. It's like stealing people's lives just because they feel like it.
If you are
Okay, cool. That's about all I can handle from that because it's just so stupid and ill-informed. It's like, yo, you take a look at all of those people that were shown there. It's like it has nothing to do with them being black, you fucking weirdos, but they're all overweight, except for that androgynous-looking thing. I think that's a woman. But do any of those people look like anyone that you want to take serious advice from, that you would be willing to take criticism from? They're just all openly racist, but hey, man. Their opinions are valid because it's against white people, and that's the global norm. And if you speak out on the side that is nice and easy and cozy and comfortable, you're totally fine. You get propped up, and yeah, you know the line not to cross if you don't want to get canceled, if you have stuff to lose. Scott Adams said it. He fucked around and he found out. Not saying that's right. Not saying that's justifiable. I don't think he should be canceled from any of the stuff that he said. I'm just saying if you don't like what he's saying, you just go, oh, that's neat. A little bit weird that he said that. And then you just turn around and walk the fuck away because it really doesn't much matter. Oh, if you think that this is too much, you know what you do? You just flip the page. You just close the tab and you move on with your life. Really wild concept that we're dealing with here. But yeah, Scott is realizing that, yeah, it probably wasn't exactly the most eloquent way to put across my thoughts and opinions on this stuff. And he's realizing that, kind of did this to myself, huh? So, Jay, I have no idea who this dude is, but he is a fitness coach, a music producer, reasonable and curious person on the crazy internet. All right, cool. Shout out to him. So, after hearing his clarification of the clip, and the one that we played a little bit of before, and we did a full breakdown on Saturday, I think, Scott is right. But the way he expressed his point wasn't smart because people are stupid and can't sense hyperbole. It wasn't terribly hyperbolic, but okay. People want to be recreationally offended. It's easy to clip the stream, making him seem racist. So yeah, sounds like somebody who would be a professional live streamer, or at least somebody who has been given their opinions on the internet to a fairly sizable audience for whatever fucking reason, for a long enough time to know, yeah, you need to curate your message so that people can fully grasp your concepts, especially if you want to be making a change in the world. But no, if you just want to dunk on black people, I think Compound Media is probably hiring. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Scott Adams, or we won't, because I'll just continue to pay him about as much mind as I had prior to all this stuff popping off, because there's something else that I would be much more concerned about. And that involves the Tate brothers, actually the entire Tate crew, because they had their appeal. They had their appeal heard today, and went about as bad as you would anticipate. Listen, the brothers aren't getting out. Their appeal was just looked at, it was noted, and then it was thrown away. Okay, Andrew and Tristan Tate remain in custody. The court appeals rejected the appeal of the two brothers. And oh wait, it gets worse, because last time we were talking about this, I think I did report on this, or at least I've just been thinking about it enough. The two girls, Luana and Georgiana, were supposed to be released on house arrest. Okay, the court had decided that yeah, enough's enough. The girls can just go home for the time being, wear your ankle monitors, and you'll just come back. Well, they heard an appeal today, and there was actually multiple appeals filed. One was by the Tates, Tristan's counsel. Actually, yeah, Andrew and Tristan both are represented by the same counsel. They filed an appeal, as well as the counsel for the two women filed an appeal, and also DIICOT filed an appeal. Interesting. So the prosecution side of this also filed an appeal, and guess whose appeals were granted? You already knows whose weren't, but yeah, it's not a good one. It's not a good one. But give you a little bit of insight as to what happened at the court today, for as much as we know, because I don't think anybody's allowed to go into the courtroom, because at this point in time, it's been going on for months at this point, with no evidence, no new claims, nothing new discovered, no new charges. Charges still haven't been laid. This is all still preventative custody that can go on for an additional 3 months at this point, because now the boys are going to be locked up until the 21st. Oh no, the next hearing is on the 21st of March. They're going to be locked up until at least the 27th of March. And it makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach to know that these guys, on the back of zero credible evidence from two ghosts, we don't even know if two of the accusers even exist. They have no idea what claims they're brought. The two girls that claim, we work with the Tates, we love the Tates are great people. No, you're brainwashed. And then the other two, you got the UK stripper that was trying to extort Andrew for 200,000 euros, who was in close contact, and thanks to the WhatsApp messages, we found out that they were orchestrating everything behind the scenes. Big fucking shock on that one. And then the other girl who was on the receiving end of that, the US girl, oh my god, there's some stuff coming out about her, which I've got to dedicate to an entire video in and of itself, but you could see the previous, the information that we covered earlier in the video. We needed to get that out today because it's kind of, time-sensitive information. So we'll be talking about her in greater depths into the future, because we got nothing but time going forward on this one. But what was decided in the courtroom, and also what was going on in the courtroom today, a couple of new pieces of information. So as for some of the appeal that's down here, interesting, very interesting how they word this one. And this is all just kind of loosely Google translated, and then also translated by a third source as well. So it could be a little sketchy. Okay, so based on Article 204, the Criminal Procedure Code rejects as unfounded the appeal filed by the defendant Tate, Andrew Emery III, against the decision of February 21st, pronounced by the Judge of Rights and Liberties. Rights and Liberties. They have those in Romania. Interesting. Of the Bucharest Court, Criminal Division 1, file number, all that stuff. Based on Article 275, Paragraph 2, the Criminal Procedure, all that stuff. The Public Ministry, Prosecutor's Office, next, the High Court of Cassation and Justice. All right. Directorate of the Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism, by the defendant Tristan Tate against his conclusion of the February 21st pronouncement of the Judge of Rights and Freedoms within the Bucharest Court. So yes, Andrew remained to custody. Tristan remained in custody. Abolish in part the contested conclusions regarding defendants Tristan Tate, Georgiana, Manuela Nagel, I guess that's her middle name, Manuela, and Alexandra Luana Radu. Like I said, just some Bork translation on that stuff, okay? And rejudging, remove the provisions of Article 223, Paragraph 1, letter A of the criminal procedure considered as grounds for the extension of the measure of preventative arrest of the defendant, Tristan Tate. But just keep in mind for the girls there for a second, because we'll come back to that, because there was somebody that got to speak in the court here today. And once again, shout out to the censored man for getting this. So we had Anamaria Prodan takes a stand for the Tate brothers in the appeals court here earlier today. And who is Anamaria Prodan? Well, first and foremost, the shout out, holy son. So she shows up. She's a model. She is fucking beautiful. Like, come on, let's not cap here for a second. Anamaria Prodan is a Romanian football agent, producer, and TV model who is best known for her work with Euphoria and Romantica television networks. She served as club president for CS Bufeta, the team's time in the second league. So yeah, she is well known. She is well known in Romania. She went down to the courthouse and delivered testimony on behalf of the Tates. So we'll go through some of it, probably all of it, to be thorough about this stuff. And she seems like I'm losing track of how many people have come out in support within the confines of Romania of the Tate brothers. But no, everything just gets abolished and disregarded by the Romanian authorities. It really does seem like corruption now, doesn't it? Everybody calls me to talk about the Tate brothers. I don't know them. I've never seen them face to face. I'm a very realistic man. A man who finished law school and comes from a family of lawyers. My family was lawyers. By profession, we Romanians have found out the pieces of something that no one knows exactly, not even those who arrested them, the judges, the prosecutors. There is no evidence until this moment. I understand the Tate brothers were arrested. The whole country is boiling. Oh, that's an interesting development. Kind of seems like it, because from the outside looking in, everybody is looking because Andrew's name, Tate's brothers, is trending every single day. People are more focused now on Romania than at any point in recent history. Like, people have known about Romania, but haven't really delved that deep into what exactly Romania is all about. It's just an old Eastern Bloc country that is, relatively poor and corrupt. And it's like, okay, you Uzbekistan, like, what else are we talking here? But now, realistically, Andrew and Tristan and the entire gang kind of put Romania on the map. Now, thanks to their extended detention, they're being put on the map even more so in less flattering ways. So to know and to have somebody concrete come out and say that, yeah, I've got connections into the country and everybody's kind of upset with the way that the authorities are handling this, maybe something will start to happen, I guess. The Tate brothers were arrested. The whole country is boiling. Okay, good. We have some footage going around of them being put in a van. How were their assets confiscated? Oh, unjustifiably. Were the allegations, where are the allegations that they were seized? Obviously, this has all been translated, so there's grammatical errors as well. And then, yeah, again, if this is the testimony of the lady and then it says that I'm a very realistic man, Romania don't play like that Western shit, so, errors abound. Where are the allegations that they were seized and have, and that they have a prostitution ring proven? How can they know for sure if this is so? The presumption of innocence is the first thing that comes before the finalization of this case. Not happening now, but I understand. If they have been arrested for 3 months and the judges still have nothing concrete about this case, then what are we talking about? I am not saying that they are not guilty. Far from me. I'm not defending anyone. I say give credit to some people and don't judge, don't arrest without evidence. Boy, if we could only live in such a utopian society where people are assumed to be innocent until proven guilty. Oh, what a bygone era. So what do we have here? Let's not make a crazy media circus because their guilt is not proven. What will happen? The media circus is toxic for society. In Romania, first you are arrested, then the evidence is sought. As a citizen of Romania, I'm amazed and horrified that we are living these moments. I saw Victor Picture. All right. A unique masquerade. His life's work and his image destroyed for what? Normally, I know it's the opposite of life. Okay? That must be a translation error. We have evidence and we are making an arrest. The Romanian state pays so much money to arrest these people who are guilty before providing evidence of guilt. Many times it happens that the accusations are not proven. Who erases dementia created by the media, those people's lives? Shout out Joe Biden. Where's the presumption of innocence? Can't they be tried under house arrest? Yeah, you would love to think that as well, and keep that in mind, because the girls, last time we talked about this, Georgiana and Luana, were supposed to be released on house arrest. I'm kind of spoiling it by just mentioning it like that, aren't I? It makes my blood boil. There are are they such dangerous criminals? Yeah, they were speaking on the internet in ways that, well, certain authorities weren't really appreciating. I think that's what is becoming more apparent. Is there any clear evidence in this case? I understand that the girls in these cases are under house arrest. Ooh, statement aged like bread. We can't treat these famous cases as professionals. What do we have to make a media circus out of everything? I don't think I do honor to a country. Yeah, do honor to a country that disgraces the country, I guess. I understand that their two brothers turned themselves in. They could run, I think. Why arrest, I repeat, before we have all of the incriminating evidence? It's kind of like the first time their place was raided. They went along voluntarily. They cooperated completely with the authorities, and then everybody just got sent on their ways. Wow. But no. That going around this time? No, can't be having that. So this seems incredible to me. Information is leaking in the press a lot. Why? When in the world does such a thing exist? If they are guilty, they will surely gather evidence and do their punishment. Okay. Where is the presumption of innocence? Why does it not apply in Romania? We are doing these media circuses to distract from things that are really important. How much does the Romanian state pay in compensation in the case of innocence? Yeah, you'll just be turned loose and it's like, well, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. Who erases the images from the memory of these people's family? Yeah, and especially because Tristan has a young daughter who he's never met yet, who has been born since he's been in custody. I think we need to rise as a nation. Let's do things the way they should be done. Arrest people only if you have very clear evidence. Yeah. If you don't have evidence, put them under house arrest and see what you can find to shed light on the case. I'm so sorry that lawsuits are being made to make a circus national. Okay. I would like to live in a free country where wrongdoers pay, but pay, I repeat, on evidence administered before the arrest, declared Anamaria Prodan. This girl. One last time. That ended up amounting to just a hill of beans because, boy, yeah, I kind of spoiled it beforehand, but the girls aren't going to be released on house arrest. In fact, in a form of psychological torture. That's about the only way that I can describe this that makes any sense at all. They're going to remain in prison. Why? Don't know. Because Abolition Part contested the conclusion regarding defendants Tristan, Tate, Georgiana, and Luana. It maintains the provision of extending the preventative arrest of the defendant Tristan Tate. So that's going to continue. So DIICOT regarding defendants Georgiana and Luana orders the extension of the measure of preventative arrest of the defendants Georgiana and Luana for a period of 30 days. From tomorrow, the 28th to the 29th of March inclusive. The solution is communicated to the administration. So yeah, that's just all the legalese that's going to be down there. So they're just going to be held up in the prison alongside the boys until at least March 29th, because that's fair and fucking honest. I'm beyond disappointed doesn't even begin to describe the opinions I have of this situation. It's disgusting. It's immoral. It's every other negative emotion that I could throw out there. But like I said, there's a through line when it comes to this video. Different ways that you can handle victimhood. We've seen Eliza try to monetize it and just try to capitalize on the attention grab. Scott Adams come to some sort of a realization, maybe at the end of it, and figuring out that, maybe as a fucking writer, I need to curate my speech in a little bit more of an effective tone. This is from a couple of days ago. It was recently retweeted by Tate after he knew that his fate was already sealed once again, that he would be spending another 30 days inside of a shitty Romanian box. I'm in a cell. I have extremely limited freedom of action. Every single day I do 500 squats, 500 push-ups, practice my tiger paw technique, walk 10 kilometers, write and complete lessons for the students inside the real world, which is Hustlers University relaunched. Read and respond, do hundreds of letters, pray, read my Quran, then begin my day of a strict, long meditation. You have all your freedom of movement. You have unlimited information and accessibility at your fingertips. In my days of this cell, I am more productive than yours. You should be furious with yourself. It means you are failing. How will you ever reach greatness when you do not even outperform a man in a jail cell? Work harder. You cannot afford to fail any longer. Still inspiring. Inside of an unjust, unfair, unreasonable detainment schedule. That is a way that a man, a real man, a legitimate man, and the dorks on the internet will just say, it's the fake alpha man. If you're putting out that shit, 60 some odd days into your detention, you're a third-party intermediary that you're only allowed to speak to and talk to in recorded conversations and maybe for an hour a day. You're not even allowed to be on the internet. You haven't even been charged of anything, but you're still inspiring. You're still putting in the work, even in the most ludicrous of situations. That is the way. That is 100% the way that you will handle unjust and unfair situations, because you are responsible for all of your actions. You are responsible for the good and the bad in your life, because he could be a total victim about this. He could continue to just have people tweet out on his behalf the unjust detainment and I feel so bad about myself. And hey, even censored men. Yeah, he puts out this clip. It's worth mentioning that Andrew Tate has lung problems. When have you heard him complain about that? You haven't at all whatsoever. The poor conditions in jail are doing nothing but determining, or I guess deteriorating, is what he was trying to put, his health further, despite this DIICOT doesn't see this as a justification for Andrew to get the proper medical treatment that is needed. Nope, he's still putting in the work. He's still being a real man about the situation. But retards will just sit on Twitch all day complaining about, the system is hard, we need socialism. Fucking disgusting. I hope if anybody out there faces a similar unjust situation, that you can greet it and meet it with such a level of self-accountability, as such a level of grace and purpose that the Tate brothers can. Still inspiring from inside just the worst situations that you can possibly find. So, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.